Namaste friends. Now let's look at Rahu in the fifth house. If you check your charts, your birth chart, have you noticed Rahu is positioned in the fifth house? The following will be the influence that you will be having in your life. Okay. So what is the fifth house? The fifth house is the house also called as the Putra Sthana. Putra means progeny or children. Okay. Now when Rahu comes into the fifth house, you'll have this feeling. If you are married and have kids, you'll have this thought in your mind that your children will eventually take care of you, and they're the best children in this world, and that your welfare is dependent on them one day. This sort of fallacy will be very strong in you. It creates that illusion. It's not that, and you'll talk all about it. You go to your friends and you say you've got the best kids in the world. They are very obedient. They are very intelligent and all that. You keep, extolling about their behavior towards you, and how you are proud to be their father or mother. Okay, and this sort of thing comes back and bites you as well, because we are creating a that feeling of illusion towards your children is an illusion. Rahu is all about illusion, right? That sense of illusion, illusory, goes to your children, and of course your child or your children would have a different perspective altogether. And if you are not in alignment, if you feel that they are not in alignment with what you think about them, and that's where the problem starts. Okay. Now what else? If you have Rahu in the fifth house, your educational and your intelligence will be okay, you want to learn everything and anything. You go and take many courses, but then you don't complete everything, because deep inside you have this thought that you are the most intelligent, the most wisdomful person. Okay, and you create that ego within you. So wherever you go, you seem to behave in such manner. Okay, any topic you would know. So which means, a person having Rahu in the fifth house, they seems to be a jack of all trades and a master of none. They may know everything, but on a very surface level, just a little bit on everything. Even in their education, academically, they might have a few, college certificates level. They may not even go to diploma, but then they have a few of it, right? And that's how they'll see themselves. So they do not actually excel in academic life. But they have the knowledge a little bit on everything else. And with that little knowledge, they'll try to manipulate and find ways to cheat people and find towards their way. Let's say if you're working in a corporate environment and you want to come up, you want to climb up the ladder, and but then you don't want to work hard towards it. You just want to find shortcuts. So if you have Rahu in the fifth house, you will find ways. You might cheat. You might find someone who can do your work. To get some credits out of that, and from there you will climb up the ladder. You would not work really hard and then achieve things. You will find shortcuts. Okay. Now Rahu in the fifth house also shows things. Your love affair. Okay, the fifth house is also your love affair. The feelings for your spouse, or for your girlfriend, or for your boyfriend. Okay, it always has intentions. You have a thought about them already. Okay, you're not interested in what they think about you, right? It's always one-sided. You have that strong obsession about them. You feel that, okay, I have the best boyfriend ever, or I have the best wife ever. This sort of things, and you will live within that sphere or that realm of illusion. And then when the wife or your husband or your boyfriend or your girlfriend doesn't seem to be in alignment with what you think about them, that's where the problem starts to happen. So the love affair is normally one-sided, and normally it's not lasting. It doesn't last that long. You will find that dream, sort of quote unquote dream girl or boy of yours, but then because you are more on an illusion, you're not facing reality. You hate reality. you want to be on the fantasy land. So it'll be nice it will be very nice initial stages. You will go through very pleasant, very romantic relationship, but eventually it will just fall. It will just and it has, it doesn't fall nice and slow. It will have a huge seas. It will just suddenly stop, and that suddenness is also known for Rahu. Okay, it will just, your boyfriend might find someone else, your wife might just leave you. This sort of things. Okay. The fifth house also denotes investment and speculative business, like the stock market. That's a very good example. If you are doing something else, let's say if you are a teacher or something, and if you think that you want to do another business, let me tell you now, join as a stockbroker. Start your life as your career life, or rather side by side with what you're doing right now, or at least part time. Learn more about shares and trading stocks. Okay, because that's where you're good at. Because you are naturally a very creative person. You have this ability to think out of the box, right? When you see in especially in shares and tradings and the stock market and all that, it's all about trending. So this trending is both logical and also a little bit on emotional as well. So you have both. The Rahu people have both emotional and logical thinking. So they'll do great when it comes to as a stockbroker. So I would suggest that will be the great thing. What else? And also, let me see. Yeah, okay. The fifth house is also the house of discretion. Your judgment towards people, or your judgment towards the things happening around you. What happens is you live in a very illusory, in a very fantasy level. Everything that you see, you will have your own thoughts to it. You do not want to engage rationally about something. Now let me give you an example. Let's say you're in an office environment and you need to go for a meeting, right? And this meeting involves a lot of people coming from your CEO to most of the prominent people in the organization will be there. So before going to the meeting, you already have a perception. You already have a strong outcome on what's going to happen. Who will say what? What are the outcomes of the meeting? And everything you already pre-decide. Okay, and it's important. But of course, there's nothing wrong with that. However, it has to be flexible, right? But then no, Rahu is very adamant, egoistic, and compulsive. So when he goes or she goes to a meeting, a person who has Rahu, the fifth house, goes for a meeting, he already decided or she already decided this is what it's going to be, regardless of the position of who you are in the meeting. And that normally doesn't end pretty well, right? Because ultimately people who have the authority, the skills, the management abilities will make the decisions, and this can be bad. So Rahu doesn't have that flexibility in it. You make decisions, and that making the strong decisions or a strong discretion within themselves creates a huge problem. So again, when it comes to discernment, Rahu will have a huge setback. Okay, so remember, if you have Rahu in your fifth house, when you want to decide something, when you want to fall in love, when you want to go for a course to learn more, when you want to impart your knowledge to your children, always remember to put your ego aside. Okay, there is this term called ahamkara, ahamkara. Ahamkara, it means ego. The one whom you will be controlled with. Okay, try to put that aside and think a little bit rationally. All right. So that's a little bit about, of course we can go on and on, but then YouTube is limited. So that's a little bit about what I think Rahu in the fifth house would do to you. Thank you, and I hope to see you soon. Namaste.